Here I have a mock-up drawing of my statue. I have polymer clay, and I also have aluminum foil. The aluminum foil is going to be used as kind of a base for my statue because I don't want to be using too much clay, and also the instructions that the clay came with says that if the clay is more than a quarter-inch thick, I should try to hollow it out, which is what I'm doing here. As you can see, I tore up the foil and I'm folding it into kind of like a skeleton form for my statue. So while I'm working on this part, let me talk about how my project is related to my intended major. I say intended because before I came to Hennepin Technical College, I was a student at the U of M where I studied political science. When the fall rolls around, I'll be transferring from Hennepin Tech back to a four-year university, and I plan on picking up sociology as a double major. So hence the intended. I thought that this was a really great opportunity for me to use art and design as a way to both express and address social issues. Before I move on and talk about the specific topic I want to talk about within sociology, let's talk about how I came to choose Art Nouveau as my inspiration. So in that era, so many statues shared this similarity. The Art Nouveau statues are very elegant, very ornate, they're very well made. Many of them are of the female form. They're of women, and the women share pretty much one body type. There is a very much variety in how their bodies look. Many of them are holding some kind of fabric, and remember, these statues are made of either metal, gold, wood, marble, and the way that these materials, the cloth, the fabrics, flow on their bodies are absolutely stunning. I really appreciate the skill and the talents the artists have in making it look so natural, especially the way the rolls on their necks look and the rolls on their bellies. The only problem is that the rolls aren't very prominent. These women are not thin by any means, but not fat by any means. They're pretty much one body type. And I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to use the Art Nouveau statues as a way to show that larger women can be beautiful as well. I do apologize for the rambling. I'll be adding short excerpts of music here and there between the gaps of the subjects I'll be talking about. I hope you guys enjoy the music. I know that the statue is kind of off camera at this point, but basically what I'm doing here is I'm adding clay to her sides and her lower hip area because I do want to make sure that she is visibly larger with the rolls and the extra fat that hangs off, because many of us, most Americans, have extra fat. And it might be just a little muffin top, it might be, love handles, but they're there and that's part of us. And I really do want the message to be clear that it's absolutely okay for people to look like that and to have those things. It doesn't make you any less of a person, but society does have the tendency to make women feel that way if they do have extra baggage, as they like to say. And here I am modeling her breasts. I made sure that her breasts were slightly lopsided and that her nipples weren't pointing straight on, because I know that that's kind of like what women are expected to look like, but in reality breast comes in all different shapes and sizes and colors. So I made her nipples, one of them, point downwards. You'll see this later on at the end of the video. There isn't really a method to the madness. It was just mostly trial and error. I would add clay, I would take away clay. I spent a lot of time making sure that she looked the way that I intended her to look. And overall, this project took me about 4 hours to make, and I recorded good chunks of it. But I didn't want to include all the clips in this video because otherwise the video would be like 2 hours long. So I had to do a lot of editing and condensing, but I do hope that you guys can see the design process and the creating process. I spent quite a bit of time working on her hair, their individual dreadlocks, and I tried my best to add texture to each strand. It was really difficult not to lose volume or dimension when I used the pen, as you can see, to add the texture because it flattens the hair onto her head. I also worked quite a bit on her hands. This is actually the first time I ever made hands out of clay, and I really wanted them to look elegant and graceful because many of the statues that I see that are designed under the Art Nouveau era were they had like hands that were posed in a way that seemed very elegant, very ladylike, and very gentle. And I wanted to make sure that her fingers weren't too witch-like. As you can see, they're a little off, but I tried my best and I did work really hard on making sure that they were positioned in a way that made her look very elegant and beautiful. And here I baked her in the oven for about 25 minutes, I think, at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Here I have a piece of clay that I rolled out into a really thin sheet of clay because I wanted it to look like the fabric that many of the Art Nouveau statues either have draped on their shoulders or are holding. As you can see here, I have the fabric or the clay tucked underneath her left hand, which is tucked underneath her chin, and I was really happy with how this turned out because of gravity. You can see all the folds and how the fabric falls so naturally, and it was absolutely amazing because I didn't think that I could do it, because this is definitely a skill or a talent that artists and sculptors have that I just admire so much, because it really does take skill to make marble or metal or wood or any kind of material like that to look natural and flowing. And that's something so beautiful about the Art Nouveau statues and era in general, because things that are really elegant and ornate and beautiful are at the same time really simple. As you can see here, I put some glitter on her shoulders and on the bottom of her drape or fabric, as well as her feet, because I wanted to continue with the characteristics of Art Nouveau, which is some of them have some kind of shiny material to them. And yeah, that is my video. That's my final product, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing your projects soon as well. Thank you for watching!